everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Boss Ravioli Queens. I'll wait for Miss Ravioli to get in frame.
Hi, everybody. So ridiculous. Welcome back to another episode of the Boss Ravioli Queens. We're your two favorite caregivers, Nicole Ravioli and
Boss Lady Amy.
Shameless plug.
Dink.
Oh, that was
All right.
good.
That was good. Very in sync.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. We're the Boss Ravioli Queens. We are your two favorite caregivers, and if we're not, we will be.
Yeah.
You just don't know us yet. So we make healthcare, caregiving content and trending topics, and we talk about how they relate to our little healthcare corner of the world. You can listen to our audio episodes on anywhere you listen to podcasts. Unfortunately, we're not releasing new ones right now as far as like the audio versions go. However,
Also, not on Apple because we're poor and they charge to post.
yeah, so that wasn't great.
Mm-hmm.
However, you can still find all of our old videos on YouTube, and then also we make new videos that we release every week. So, go take a listen, go take a watch. Hopefully you'll laugh and cry with us and not at us.
Yeah. So this episode is called Monkey in the Middle because Boss Lady Amy found out that they're doing a reboot of the show Malcom in the Middle, which I'm currently rewatching on Hulu because I want to be ready for the reboot.
Which I need to get on it and do the same. So, if you don't know Malcolm in the Middle, which I'm sure that you do, because I feel like everybody under the sun knows that show.
Our age.
Yeah.
Within like a certain age bracket.
Yeah.
I know, it makes me sad too. Anyways, so far the confirmed actors that are going to be in the reboot are Frankie Muniz, who played Malcolm. You do the other two because
Bryan Cranston, who played the dad.
The Hal Dad.
Hal. And then Jane Kasmerick, who played Lois, the mom.
Yeah.
So those are the confirmed actors. As of right now, we're hoping to see the rest of the cast, which would be the oldest brother, Francis, the second oldest, Reese. Obviously, Malcolm's already in it. And then the youngest, Dewey. Mm-hmm. And then we never actually got to meet Jamie because the baby, the youngest, was born on the season's final episode.
The finale.
Or the finale, yeah. Or the show's finale, I should say, not the season. So yeah, hopefully we actually get to meet Jamie this time around because
that'd be super cool.
Yeah.
As like a continuation.
Yeah, basically.
Because she was a literal baby.
Yeah, like a literal newborn. I actually don't even know if they ever showed footage of Jamie. I think it was just like we were supposed to believe that he was born. I don't remember.
There was a he?
Jamie was a boy.
Oh, that's right, because I'm pretty sure they made a joke out of it because Lois wanted a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so poor Lois got, what is that,
Another boy.
5 boys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's too many.
Poor lady.
Okay, so if you never watched it, which, like I said, I'm sure you've probably heard of it, it's basically just an all-American family growing up, trying to raise their kids, and they all were in different age groups. Mm-hmm. Francis being the naughty one who was sent off to military school.
In high school. Reese,
the one always getting into trouble, not very smart.
But still like the mastermind somehow?
Yeah.
Like the not smart mastermind, and then Malcolm like would either add to the plan or like create a new one.
Yeah, so that was the thing, is that even though the show was about Malcolm,
it was really about the whole family.
Yeah, it was about the whole family. And honestly, like, Malcolm was the worst. He was so diabolical.
He was.
But he never got in trouble. Like, he got in trouble for stuff, but not the way that Reese did.
He's like comparable to Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory, because he's like that super smart, but like still mischievous.
Yep. And so basically it was always one of those like, oh, well, Malcolm wouldn't do this. Like, oh, obviously it was Reese. And even though Reese usually had a hand in something, usually he took most of the blame for it because Malcolm was smarter. And then Dewey was just the super sweet, kind of idiotic kid. Very gullible. And then...
he would be considered like the village idiot of the show.
Yeah. Dewey was super cute, though.
He did learn how to be manipulative, though.
He did. He did. They all kind of took after each other in that regard.
Yep.
And then, obviously, like we said, we never got to know Jamie. Jamie existed for one episode. So, and it wasn't even a full episode because that was the episode where Jamie was born.
Yeah, it was literally the very end. That's how they ended the entire thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so...
Which I was actually really mad at for a long time. Because I was like, you're going to add this new kid to the show, and you're going to end the show.
And then, yeah, just, like, not tell us anything about this kid at all. So I'm really hoping that they'll bring Jamie back in this new reboot. So right now, all we know is that the show opens at Lois and Hal's 40th wedding anniversary party. And then another thing that they have released is that they said one of the siblings is a non-binary character. I'm assuming that's Jamie. I mean, really, it could be any of them. But I'm assuming it's Jamie because that's the only one that we don't know.
And they said it was a sibling.
Yeah, and they did say it was a sibling. Oh, and also, too, they did confirm Malcolm does have a daughter. So we get to see how raising her has been, I guess.
I wonder how old they're gonna make her, like, in the show.
I don't know.
Because, like, obviously the family has all grown up.
Right.
Like, all of the kids are grown. They have their own lives. Like, I wonder how many years after...
That's another
their childhood,
right?
You know?
That's another thing I'm wondering is that if all of them are playing their ages or if they're supposed to be younger.
Yeah.
Because like I know Frankie Muniz, when I was just looking him up, he's 39 years old, and I don't know if they plan on having him play a 39-year-old or if they have him like playing someone younger. Because I mean, obviously,
he still looks very young.
He does. He looks very good for his age, but like the show ended. You know,
in 2006.
Right, a long time ago. He was definitely not 39, so. No. I wonder what all their final ages were when the show ended. I don't even know.
I'm pretty sure Francis was in his 20s.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Reese would have been probably like a sophomore in high school. Malcolm... probably either like 8th or 9th grade, and then Dewey would have been in like 5th or 6th.
Yeah. Well, and we just watched an interview with Frankie Muniz, and he mentioned that he was 9 when he started filming.
I thought he said 8.
Oh, 8 or 9. I thought he said 9, but one of the two.
Either way.
But I'm curious, I don't know if that was the age that Malcolm was supposed to be in the show. Like, I don't know if Frankie Muniz's age and Malcolm were supposed to be the same, you know?
I can imagine. Because, like, back then, it was, like, either end of the spectrum, really. Like, they would hire kids to play their own age, or they would hire, like, adults to play kids. There was no in-between.
Yeah. Yeah, but we're excited. And like I said, I really need to get on rewatching the show. Because I have a lot of good memories of watching that show.
Samesies.
Yeah. What other shows do you want to see brought back?
Oh boy. Honestly, I know that with all the Dan Schneider stuff, it's probably never going to happen, but like Victorious, I think that would be a great reboot. I know they already did a reboot for iCarly, which was awesome. I finished that last year sometime. But probably gonna rewatch it again soon because it is really good. What else? There's so many shows from when I was a kid, but like some of them were on Nick at Night and were like stuff that my parents would watch as children, like the Brady Bunch and stuff like that. So
I could do with the Brady Bunch reboot.
Yeah, except I think they're all like nursing home age now.
Yeah, I mean there wouldn't be anybody from the original cast most likely.
No. It's so hard sometimes to remember like what I all watched when I was like a teen and younger.
Yeah.
Ooh,
same.
A Kim Possible reboot. Would love that.
I was actually just thinking about that.
Or like that old show Recess.
Yes, I loved Recess.
Me too. Do I remember anybody other than Spinelli because she has a weird name? No. Do not. But I still would love to see a reboot. I mean, they did like the Rugrats All Grown Up thing, which I didn't really care for. Was definitely not as good as the original.
Yeah.
Real Monsters.
Was it?
Real Monsters. Like AHHHH exclamation point Real Monsters. Loved that show.
Was that on Disney?
Nickelodeon. It was a cartoon.
Oh yeah, no. That was probably during the era where we didn't have cable.
It was a funny show. It was good.
So I actually don't know if I've talked about this too much on here, but I had an interesting childhood, well, for many reasons, but one of them being that my parents, so my dad was born in the 40s, and then my mom was born in the 50s, and I was born in the 90s. So I grew up definitely, like, in a really weird, like, Twilight Zone sort of situation where I was very much in between generations. And so I was exposed to like a lot of the things that people my age were watching at the time, but very limited because it was always like if I saw it at a friend's house or if I saw it at like my grandma's house who had cable, or like we were talking about it at school or something. Like we had dial-up internet until I was 18 years old, and like my parents didn't have cable until I was 18 years old. So like a lot of the stuff that people like really were into for like years and years and years before I got into it, like I didn't even watch Phineas and Ferb for the first time until I was 18.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh
and
my gosh.
I remembered like after my parents finally got cable, I would literally stay up till like 3 a.m. every night just binging as much Nick at Night as I could because it was just so good and like I couldn't get enough of it. And then my parents would always get so mad at me because I'd be so tired in the mornings, and they'd be like, well, if you didn't stay up so late. And I'm like, hey, I got 18 years of TV to catch up on.
No kidding.
Like,
oh, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I want a reboot of that. Like Netflix did like their own thing with it, but I want an actual like where they're their ages now kind of thing.
I really
because Hilda and Zelda, like Hilda got married and Zelda got turned into a child, and then they like made their exit on the show, and then it was Sabrina in college and living with her roommates at her aunt's house, and then Salem was still there.
Okay.
And then I think her and Harvey, like she left some dude at the altar on the final episode, and it was her and Harvey riding off on Harvey's Harley. Try saying that 10 times fast.
That was one of the shows, like, again, I heard all the hype and all the things, but like...
I mean, don't get me wrong, rewatching it as an adult is frustrating because she's so stupid. She's so teenagely stupid. Like... She creates all of these problems herself, and then she tries to fix them herself, and it never goes well, and she always needs help from somebody.
Yeah, I mean, that's relatable, though.
Yeah, but, like, watching it as an adult, like I said, is really frustrating.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Like, as a kid, you're like, man, like, oh, yeah, I totally get it. Like, oh, that situation's so dumb. And then as an adult, you're like, what are you doing?
Literally.
You could have done this, this, and this. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. So, definitely want to see a reboot of that, though, because I feel like since we could relate to that as teenagers, we could definitely relate to it now.
Yeah.
As long as it's not more teenagers.
I should watch that show. Again, like I said, it's one of those shows where I always heard people talk about it, but I'm like, no.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have cable, so.
They also did some sort of, like, That's So Raven reboot kind of thing, but Raven really wasn't, like, a main character, I don't think. I haven't watched all of it yet. But...
I've watched some of it. It's not bad. And it's definitely more, like, focused on the kids.
Yes.
I think if anything, like, I don't know if there's too many specific shows that I'd want to watch, but I think for me, I want to see these shows with less of, like, that like cheesiness, like the corniness and all the bad jokes and stuff, and more of like the real life humor, I guess you could say. Just like less of the shenanigans and like the that would never happen, and more of like just make it a little bit more relatable.
Which again, circling back, is why we loved Malcolm in the Middle so much.
Absolutely. And, like, I think I would feel better if I just watched more shows like that are just like, yeah, this could, like, actually happen in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, some of the stuff in That's So Raven was so, like,
well, I mean, to be fair,
ridiculous.
She was literally a psychic.
That's true.
So, I mean, obviously, like, people have their own beliefs. Psychic mediums, in my personal opinion, are a thing. You just have to watch who you go to, because some people really do scam. But like, she would have like these crazy visions, and then she would have some wild scenario, like the time where she dressed up as her mom, and her mom is like this twig thin, like beautiful woman, and she dresses up as like this frumpy looking old fat lady with like pillows for her butt and like all this other stuff. What was her Mr. Pacelli, that was her teacher's name. So, like I said, wild scenarios. So I do agree with you that I think making it more relatable would be good. Because, I mean, obviously not many people can relate to being psychic, but they can relate to, like, other family things.
Right, like real life situations. I don't know, I'm one of those people that, like, when the humor is so corny and the jokes are so, like, on the nose, I get, like, secondhand embarrassment from that. I'm like, ugh, I can't. I'm like, ugh.
Gives me the
Get away.
cringe. Well, that's like you told me that you can't watch, like, shows that have the audience laughing in the background.
Oh, God, that's the worst. I literally can't do it.
I think that's funny, because I don't really pay attention to it. I'm sure if I paid attention more, I probably would dislike it too.
It'd probably give me the ick.
Yeah, but I just watch the show for the show. I don't care about the audience in the background.
Yeah, see, like, there's some that I can deal with when I can tell it's, like, genuine. But then there's some where when the audience is, like, relentless and they, like, won't stop laughing. Or they keep making noises like, or like, ooh, like every single little thing. They just keep making noises. I'm like, no, I can't.
Okay, that's fair. Like, when they're ridiculous like that, yeah, that bothers me. But it doesn't make me not want to watch the show, because the show is the show and the audience is the audience.
Yeah. I definitely want to see, like, I wish so badly they would make a show that would feature, like, Aang and Katara's adventures before they had their kids and stuff, and like even like into their marriage.
Right, because like Aang is in like the Legend of Korra. Aang is gone.
Yeah.
It's his kid.
Tenzin.
Tenzin, and then his kids' kids.
Yep.
Like, it's a little bit crazy.
Yeah. So Atla, that's what we're talking about.
We might actually have to say it, because I don't think many people call it that.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
There you go.
Yeah. And not the abomination that was the movie. Talking about the show.
The show that they did on Netflix was good.
The live action show was actually very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm talking about the OG, the cartoon. I really, really wish that they would have made a show that featured Aang and one of the main characters, and then his wife, Katara, also one of the main characters.
Right, because, like, Katara's name gets mentioned, and I think you get to see her as, like, an old woman in one episode of Korra.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So, if you guys aren't into that show, they did, like, a spin-off called The Legend of Korra, and Korra was Katara's daughter. Right? No. Katara's granddaughter.
Maybe?
Yeah, because she was Tenzin's niece.
How many
so it would have been Katara's granddaughter, I believe.
How many episodes is...
Any hoozles. So The Legend of Korra was based off of Avatar: The Last Airbender, like, years and years and years in the future after Aang had passed, and she makes her own friends and has this, like, super tough exterior. So super angsty.
Katara's in 2 episodes of Korra.
Ooh.
So, yeah, I honestly thought she was in more. I didn't realize that she was not in that show hardly at all.
No. Like I said, they mention her name, and then,
who is...
that's pretty much it.
Korra to Katara. Okay, so it says Katara is Korra's waterbending teacher and mentor.
Yeah, but she's Tenzin's niece. Korra is directly related to Aang as she is his reincarnation, meaning she's essentially the same spirit reborn in a new body. Okay. That makes sense because you know Avatar.
Legend of Korra because...
Huh. Told you.
And spiritual mentor.
Mm-hmm. And Tenzin is the son of Avatar, Aang, and Katara. But isn't Tenzin Korra's dad's brother? We're taking too long with this.
We are. We'll figure it out.
We'll let you know sometime.
Yeah, sometime. I don't personally remember Korra and Tenzin being related, but I could be wrong. I'm wrong about many things.
Technically, just because Korra's the new Avatar, they're related.
That's true. She is related in that way, but yes.
Which is weird. That's like a whole, like, mind F.
Mm-hmm.
That you have to, it's like a whole mental gymnastic ring that you have to go through, which I'm not going to do right now. Other reboots, though.
There's more, I'm sure, that I can think of, but as of right now, my brain's kind of fried, so.
I mean, same. I'm still racking my brain for more things. I don't know if I'm going to find anything in the compartments.
No, I don't think so either. I think we're both fried.
Mm-hmm.
Although I suppose it's worth it to say, since this is a caregiving podcast, TV shows is one of the ways that we decompress when we are not working.
And escape.
Especially funny TV shows.
Yeah. And movies.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think...
Oh, that was the one! Lizzie McGuire.
Oh, yeah, that would be a good one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sorry. We're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, I think we gotta wrap it up.
Yep, we were fading.
We were.
Into the abyss. That dark hole in the back of our minds that we just dissociate to. Okay, well, if you like us, and even if you don't, follow. Drop a follow. If you do like us, though, you can like the episode, hit the notification bell to see when we post new episodes. You'll get notified every single time we post something new, which should be every Wednesday, but sometimes we deal with bullshit. So
correct.
Depends on the week, but most often you will have an episode every Wednesday. If you would like, you can follow us on Facebook and TikTok at Boss Ravioli Queens. We will be making a new TikTok at some point, as we said in the last episode. Probably just gonna download the videos and transfer them over to the new one and start fresh on the new one.
Yep.
Currently, the email is bossravioliqueens@gmail.com. We will let you guys know probably on Facebook when we change our email address, because that's coming probably this weekend.
Yep.
Well, actually, by the time this releases, it'll be last weekend.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out on the Facebook.
That's it.
Yep. I was going to say something else, and now it's gone. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.